Last episode, we did this, that, and that. But that's left us with a whole lot of safety issues around our construction site. So today, we're going to try and fix that, or at least let people know that there are some safety issues. And that means for the first time ever, I think I'm actually going to do some map art. I've never done map art before, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, because what I want to do is get up a few, or maybe sort of one or two, I guess it kind of depends how long they take. But I do want to get up a couple of warning signs and construction site signs and things like that, just to really pull the last of this area together. The good news is the map art I'm doing is going to use pretty basic colors, so I can do the whole thing with wool. The bad news is I don't really have much wool. Now, we do have a sheep farm or wool farm. Sheep farm? Wool farm? What do you call it? Do you call it a sheep farm or a wool farm? I'm going to quickly go ask on YouTube and see what you think. So 150 votes in, 77% of you say wool farm. So I guess we'll go with wool farm. Although I hate saying the word wool. Must be something to do with my accent. But either way, we do have a wool farm, but the problem is it's a very small one. We only have one of each sheep, and, well, there's no white wool whatsoever because I've used it. And the other colours I'm going to need, such as red, yeah, we've got some, yellow, yeah, I haven't really got any of that either. But you see the problem, we just don't have enough wool. And to make a basic map art, you need 250 stacks of stuff to fill the entire map. And that's about 10 shulker boxes, so we definitely have a problem here. And one we're going to solve, which hopefully means eventually we can get this map art done. So let's head back to the construction site and discuss how we're going to fix this. Oh yes, and while I think of it, look at this. I've actually moved up to the nether roof, because later this week I will be releasing a world download on Patreon, so I kind of wanted to make it a little bit easier for people to get around. So look at this, look, I've labelled everything. There's little wool paths that go to all the different areas of the world. And besides that, it's much easier for me to get around. So we're going to build a wool farm, and what we're going to do is build that over here. So you may notice I've done a little bit more prep work. I've got some more roads in. We've got like a little side road here, which is actually going to be going sort of down the side of some buildings, and then we'll put some parking out the back maybe. But our wool farm is going to go here, and this is kind of going to be the storefront for it, I guess. We'll probably turn it into a clothes shop or something like that. That kind of makes sense for a sheep farm. But unlike the last wool farm, this one is going to be a mega wool farm. It's going to be huge. So the last farm had 16 sheep in total, which was one sheep of each color. And this time, I think what we're going to do is have 16 sheep of each color. So yeah, this could be quite a big building. But I've been collecting lots and lots of resources. Look at all this cyan terracotta. We've also got lots of glass and other bits and bobs. And look, I've been using the tree farm, and it's absolutely wonderful, by the way, for the nether fungus stuff we did last episode. But hopefully this should be everything we need to at least make a start on this. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of get the foundation of the building in and plan out how big this thing needs to be in order to house as many sheep as we want to house in here. This is going to be crazy. No more block placing already. We've already stopped. So I've started planning out where things I think need to go. I'm just kind of winging it really. But I think I want the first pod to be there, and then we're going to have a row of 8 going that way, and then we'll have another 8 on the opposite side going that way. And that's going to be one floor. The problem is we've got 16 different coloured sheep. This building really is going to be huge. So I think what we might actually do is maybe work out this first layer of sheep farm, see how big it is, and then figure out how to wrap a building around it after. That's probably the best solution, because if I sit here and try to count things, well, bad things are probably going to happen. So let's spend a bit of time working out this first floor, and we'll go from there, I guess. So I think I've worked out at least half of a floor. So we've just got normal sort of sheepy things here. We'll put a sheep in there. When it eats, it'll get automatically sheared. But I've also linked it up to a dropper here, but I need to go get a little bit of redstone just so we can make that auto fire when it's got stuff in it. But not only that, if we go around the back here, I'll set it up so we can put in a water channel. So the hope is that we're just going to be able to chuck shears in at one point, and then they'll just go around the system and fill in wherever they're needed. But that means we'll be able to refill it without having to sneak around the back and do it all manually. So the next thing to do is to mirror this over this side. So I think I've now got this side worked out. However, we now need to basically do this again next to it for the secondary color. Otherwise, we're going to have a 16-story building, and that might be a little bit too much. So, what do we do next? Do we do this bit next, or do we work out how we're going to stack them? I think I'm going to focus on the stacking first, just because I want to know how much kind of ceiling space, I guess, we're going to have in here. added in the other half of the floor, minus the wool, of course. We are actually missing that, but I think that's going to be the size of the building. This thing is going to be huge. Because what we have to bear in mind, of course, is this is just 2 different colours of wool, and we're determined to have 16. So I'm going to see how I get on, because this is also going to take a lot of resources. What we might have to do for now is sort of half and half it, so we actually just have 8 of each colour of sheep. But before we go too far with the floors, I think I want to sort out the building at the bottom here and start building the external part of this. We know how big each floor is going to be now, so there's no reason why we can't actually build up the outside and then put the sheep farms in afterwards. I also need to go and nab some sheep as well and get them breeding, because we're going to need a lot for this. But we're making some really good progress, at least on the outside of the building. We've got 8 floors in now, and I quite like the design. I think something like that's going to work. Of course, there will be extra details and other things going on, but the colour palette looks lovely. We've also got a slightly different facade for the bottom level, because this is, of course, going to be a shop. And, of course, we have a bajillion sheep, which we will get up in the farm. But for now, we've got another 7 floors of actual sheep farms to put in. This could take a while. Well, it's now Wednesday. That previous clip was actually recorded on Monday evening, so you can guess what I did yesterday. I basically sat inside that building and I built all of the farms. And not only that, we've managed to get all of the sheep in place as well. Look at this colourful beast. But every single floor is now fully inhabited. We've got shears absolutely everywhere, to the point where I've basically used up all of my iron. I've got about 3 stacks of iron blocks left. So I think an iron farm's going to be on the list for next episode. But the good news is this thing is working, and it is absolutely pumping out the wool. In fact, I've had to add these temporary stacks in here for now just to actually collect everything. But not only that, I've also been sorting it into shulkers. So as you can see, we've just got absolutely loads of the stuff coming through. What I need to do now is sort out a proper sorting system. And I think we're going to use shulker loaders and kind of, I don't know, maybe integrate this into some kind of shop down the bottom here. I did mention we were going to make a clothes shop of some kind. I still think that's the best call, but we should probably have a wall at the back here where everything gets stored. And it's looking like I'm going to need to go back to storage to get some more resources so we can actually make these shulker loaders. I just don't have what I need anymore. So I decided not to go with shulker loaders in the end, because I think a wall of chests is actually going to look better at the back of the shop here. And as you can see, I've kind of prepped the area ready to do the interior. We've got our lovely, oh, I missed a bit there on the ceiling. I should fix that. But we've got these tubes so you can see all the wool coming down, and you can see how productive the farm is just because there's always stuff falling. It's lovely. But even though the farm's up and running, we've still got a lot of work to do on this building. However, I need a break from this area. I've been over here for about 3 days now, and I need a bit of a switch up. So what we're going to do is actually make a start on this map art. And the first thing to do for that is to find somewhere to build it. And I think we're going to do it on a nice open ocean somewhere. Maybe we should have a look around. And if I remember correctly, if we go over to our village here and then fly directly east, we should hit a nice large patch of ocean, which should be plenty of space to make a map, while at the same time being fairly out of the way of the rest of our world. Okay, I think we've made it to the ocean I want to use. There's plenty of space here, so hopefully we should be able to find a patch in the middle here where it's just ocean, and that will enable us to actually make our map area. So we've got a 100% ocean map. Perfect. So what we want to do is go find the edge. But now we're right in the corner. Let's stick on our chunk borders, and we can see where the edge of the map is right here. So let's get some blocks down. So here we're just outside the map, and if we put some blocks down here, this should show up inside the map. Look at that. Perfect. So what I want to do now is go all around the outside of these chunks like this. It's actually an 8 chunk by 8 chunk area for a basic map, so this is going to be a big old square. that's the outline done. It's quite a big area, isn't it? But this should be absolutely perfect for our needs. And what I need to do now is give ourselves a platform to work on. And I think the easiest way for me to do that is to utilize lava, because we can pour that and that's just going to turn everything beneath it to stone. However, it's quite slow, so we've got lots and lots of buckets of lava. Turns out doing it like this takes for absolutely ever, so what we're actually going to do is place it manually, I think. We've got lots and lots of stone anyway, so we might as well use it, because, yeah, this is very, very slow. Oh my days, that took absolutely forever. But look, we have a big grey map, which means we've actually got a canvas we can work on now. So I guess we should go grab some wool, and hopefully we'll have enough wool to actually do what we need to do in here. My clicking finger hurts. Oh my word, 2 hours later and I think I'm actually done. These things take forever. But look at that, beautiful. And if we have a look at the actual map itself, look at that, we've got a floating bit here as well. Let's get rid of that. But let's go take a look at the actual map. Yes, that is amazing. That's gonna look so cool on our construction site. That's very cool. I love that. Awesome. Problem is, I do want to have more than one different type of sign, and that means we need to make another one of these, or potentially reuse the one we've got here. Maybe just reusing this is a good idea. Can't we lock the map somehow? Is that something we need a cartography table for? Let's go and investigate. So if we grab ourselves one of these, and I think, is it a pane of glass I think we need to mix with it? Let's have a look. So I think we need these, and let's try putting these in the table. Is that what locks it? It is, look at that. And now we have a locked map, which means if we change it back at the other area, it shouldn't change this one, and I think I want to quickly duplicate this as well, but I need to do that on a crafting table. And the question is, if I duplicate them, will these ones also be locked? Yes, they are. It says locked on the ID tag. Brilliant. So I think we should take this back with us, and let's head back over there and make a few changes to the map and just see if it changes. It should be locked. It says it's locked, so I imagine it's going to work just fine. Well, I've just washed away a small part of the map, and it doesn't seem to have changed anything or updated, which means the lock has definitely worked. So, onwards. Let's make our second map, shall we? Admittedly, I may have got a little bit carried away there, but it turns out map art is really fun. But it's also incredibly time-consuming. It's now Thursday afternoon. I've spent almost 2 days doing these. But don't they look beautiful? Look at these. This is amazing. So basically, we're going to be able to use these all over our construction site and maybe even elsewhere throughout the city as we go along. But I absolutely love these things. And I think it's about time we go hang some of these up, don't you? Right, it's finally time. This is what the last few days have been building up to. Slapping some signs down on our construction site. It's been almost 200 in-game days to actually build this wool farm and to do the maps over the last 4 or 5 days of my life. So hopefully this works and looks really good, but we'll see. Right, enough chat. Let's get this down. I think the first one should probably go here. And in fact, we should probably have a couple here. We want to have... Let me see. Construction traffic. Yep, definitely wants to go that way. And, of course, we want this one here. The non-authorized access. Oh, that looks so cool already. And let's put one of those on this side as well. So, one of those. Oh, I love this already. This is so cool. And I guess we probably want to make sure people are wearing hard hats in this area as well. So I'm just going to run around and put signs where I think they're going to be appropriate. For example, I think having something on the edge here would be quite good as well. Got to keep safety helmets on around the crane. It is dangerous after all. That's definitely going to save you from that. And I think I'm done. We've got a few signs up and around, and they make so much difference. Look at all these little road signs and the entrance signs as well. They work so cool. I really, really like them, especially just stuck on the side of the skip here as well. Oh, it was definitely worth the time and effort, I think. But I've tried not to go too overboard, despite how much I do like them. I've just got them in a few places where I think it makes sense. Like there's one here by the sort of digger over this side as well, for example. And we've also got a couple on the outsides. For example, here, just so when you're looking at the building site, there's some stuff to see on the side as well. And of course, I've got the diversions in and the road closed signs over this side. So we still need to sort out the storefront over here and complete the rest of the building, but I think I'm going to save that for the next episode. I'm knackered. See you on the next one. Bye-bye now.